What's up my friends, how's it going, and welcome back to the 6th episode of our Let's Play series as Kolkhis with your fellow comrade Summary. Let us go ahead, turn off all of the notifications, and before we hop into the episode, we can take a quick look at what transpired in the previous episode. In the previous episode, we started out with almost a Black Sea Empire, kind of like in this fashion, and we managed to conquer quite a lot of territory. We consolidated the entirety of Phrygia, Cappadocia, Cilicia, Syria, Syria, the northernmost regions of Mesopotamia, Judea as well, Egyptos, and we even conquered the majority of Libya. In the turns between the episodes, I managed to diplomatically acquire the province or the region of Kyrene from the Romans using the Timbe trade region submod. We even conquered Thrace, we even conquered Olbia, and in the turns between the episodes I even managed to conquer the settlement of Danu Apara. We have managed to establish a lot of military alliances, including Roma itself. We have a defensive alliance with the Massalians. The Massalians are a little bit on the back foot. They have been attacked by the Averni as well as, of course, the Lusitanen, and I have called Rome into a war with the Lusitanen to kind of try to alleviate the pressure from the Massalians. But one good thing about the Massalians is that they have the island of Alalia, or rather, Corsica, so they will not be wiped out, I think, in this campaign. Meanwhile, the Romans have liberated Sparta, so I mean, not liberated but replaced them. So yeah, we no longer have a problem over there. However, in the east we have made alliances with the Medevi, with Muscat, with Arsagartha, with the Mauryans. So yeah, it's looking good all around. We have the Atropatan surrounded. We even have some relationships with the Parthians, a trade agreement to be specific, and I guess a non-aggression agreement, but they're not too fond of us, but we are going to try to slowly improve our relationships with them as well. Considering the fact that we have established trade agreements with them, we are able to get available horse resources, so we're going to try to build a stables or royal stables over here in order to upgrade all of our horses, but we haven't yet researched that. We are in the process of researching our military tactics tree. Basically, we want to get physical conditioning as soon as possible because we have developed in the Caucasus, so we are trying to build up as much as we possibly can. Let's just hop right into today's episode, however, and we want to upgrade as many settlements as we possibly can, beginning with, of course, the sanitation buildings. For the most part, our buildings are more or less queued up, so we don't have much to worry about as far as investment in building. But what we want to do definitely is we want to make sure that we are, building up as much as possible. And of course, you can see our economy is looking fantastic. Asia is at about 100,000 denarii per turn. In about 4 to 5 turns, it will be absolutely insane. Apart from that, our food is at 70. We're not yet taxing Egyptos. It is, Caucasian in culture. We are in the process of building up the province as well. We should have gone ahead and actually built a sanitation building over here. But I will dedicate that to when the next available slot opens up. We'll get a sanitation building up and running over there. And of course, in Libya, we also have cultural dominance. We have cultural dominance throughout our realm, so that's not much of a problem. So we're actually in the process of moving our dignitaries across. We even have the cultural dominance in Mesopotamia, and we are slowly moving our dignitary towards Ekbatana in Media. So we are going to try to culturally convert that province as much as possible so that our invasion of the Atropatan will be as smooth as possible. Speaking of invasions, we have many new armies. We have about 9 new armies, total armies, I'm sorry. And we can take a look and see. We have Stratos 1 Kolkhis, Stratos 2 Kartvelius, Stratos 3 Armenius, Stratos 4 Pontu, Stratos 5 Ionius, Stratos 6 Cappadocias, Stratos 7 Bosphorus, Stratos 8 Thraces, Stratos 9 Egyptus. So that's exactly what we're doing over there. This guy has leveled up, so let's just go ahead and give him some abilities. We can just check. We can go in this menu, get a line of Alright, I definitely want this, and anything that can help with the public order is great, but more importantly, we want something that can complement the fact that this guy is a military commander. Presence. Right, okay, so none of these I'm particularly fond of, so we can just go for the food, I guess. Not that it matters much at this point. Apart from that, diplomacy-wise, in the turns between turns, we have kind of discovered most of the coastlines of, you know, the map. We have established trade agreements with whoever we could. The Nervii over here, we cannot establish a trade agreement with them. But with that, we are looking quite good. We're still in a war with the Scythians. They have managed to move a little bit closer to Garrison. That's the last settlement we need to acquire from them. Of course, the Olbians over here, they are, you know, kind of raiding and pillaging. I'm not entirely sure if I can go ahead and attack them. The main problem is, of course, the Scythian stack. So let's just... I think we should go ahead and attack them. They should be able to retreat because we want to get rid of one of these guys. So with that, we can just auto-resolve over there. Fairly easy auto-resolve. We wiped out the Catiari, and we are going to move back towards Olbia. And in the next turn, we can take out Garrison. Speaking of politics, we are looking quite good. Our political party is fairly loyal, so we don't have to worry about that. In the previous episode, we even managed to convert ourselves into an empire. Influence is slightly reducing or on the decline. We have finally caught up as far as education is concerned of our characters. As you can see, most of them are educated. We're just going to try to complete the educations. We have a couple over here, but I am going to focus on, you know, family trees in which we have an adult, because that means the subsequent children are very close to also adulthood, so we definitely want to focus on that. Let's just go ahead. This guy doesn't have a lot of gravitas, so we can just do a favor as well as praise in order to improve the zeal and authority of the character. And finally, we want to send this character on a vacation to improve her cunning. I usually like to have 10 authority, 10 cunning, and 10 zeal, and that actually allows me to perform a lot of actions like, you know, enticing a member and so forth. Yeah, that's about it. Let's look at this. Populist is not looking too good. Mogul will have +2 loyalty for any province that brings over 5,000 wealth. Some of the characters have leveled up. Let's just go ahead and give them some character skills, and with that we're looking pretty good for this turn. But what we can do is we can perhaps just begin our attack into the Atropatan. And we're gonna take a quick look over here into the diplomacy map mode. They have no allies. They're fairly friendly with us. They've grown a bit too large for our liking. So we're gonna go ahead and just declare war, cut them down to size. And hopefully, we're not really interested in Arabia, but I have a couple of armies down south over here just in order to protect Judea. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna conquer these settlements and I'm gonna transfer them over to my ally, which is basically Muscat. So yeah, let's go ahead and begin and declare this war. We are going to go ahead and just declare it normally, and there we go. That way all of our allies will be called into this war, and there we have it. Now we have pretty much everyone at war with the Atropatan, so they are definitely going to be struggling quite a bit. Speaking of struggling, since Asagartha is in a war against them, they will help with auto-resolve. We can go ahead and auto-resolve this one. That is fantastic. And we can just peacefully occupy the settlement because it is Kartlian culture. We are going to go ahead and dismantle some buildings. We can even dismantle some other buildings. We want... There we go. So that's perfect. I don't think we should have a problem as far as culture is concerned, because we have conquered yet another settlement and we have 53 influence, so that is looking great. Meanwhile, we want to bring our spies all the way down south over here. We can just gain a line of sight of what's going on, especially up here in the north. We want to make sure that they don't have any units. Since they don't have any units, we can actually go ahead and march into Frafsa. and it's pretty good auto-resolve. So once again, we can just auto-resolve this one. And we definitely want to focus on sacking as well as looting, just so that we can build up our treasury again, but more importantly, we can get access to slaves. That being said, we want to turn off the taxation in Frafsa, go ahead, repair all of the buildings, and yeah, we're looking quite good. So our expansion has begun, of course, against the Atropatan. Speaking of which, we are going to go ahead attack Petra. Petra is looking quite good as far as Garrison is concerned. So we're going to go ahead complement this army with Strato 6 Cappadocias. And there we have it. It's going to be a very good auto-resolve now. We can just go ahead and peacefully occupy, because keep in mind, I want to replenish. I want to keep the forward momentum. And then I want to kind of move into, and I don't know why, local requisitions. What are the supplies over here? It's pretty good. So I have no idea why we're actually losing out on supplies. But yeah, we want to replenish in this turn, and then we want to keep pushing in and, you know, kind of give this all to Muscat, because Muscat is a very, very good ally, very reliable, very loyal, and very aggressive, which means they will be very useful against the Atropatan. However, with that, it seems like we are more or less done with this turn. We're just going to take a look at the character trait report, egoistic and embezzler. We are also in the process of leveling up new governor generals. So we have a clever strategist. Okay, that's fine. Character personality, brawler, and character personality, clever strategist. It's fine. Do we have any more character personalities? Nope, that's about it. We are in the process, as I said, we are leveling up our governor generals. We are positioning them within settlements so that they can improve their intellectual trait. We can see we have an erudite over here, but it's being a little bit too hard on me right now, the game. It's not really promoting many of these characters, so we're going to have to see how that pans out. Speaking of which, we will have to attack these guys eventually. So we will have to move our other governor general into that port, because that building over there has the academia, which allows for the improvement of the intellectual trait. Quick look at this character. We can see we can give him a wise man that also allows for the improvement of the intellectual trait. And with that, we are done with this turn, so we can go ahead and end the turn. But before we do that, we have some army traditions as well as character skills that we can gain. So let's just go ahead and have a quick look at that. There we go. Perfect. And with that, we are ready to go ahead and end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Alright, welcome to the next turn. We have economic intent. Let's go for industry, bumping us up to 100,000 denarii per turn. That should be good. We have some attrition report. Cappadocias, Kolkhis, that doesn't make any sense. Son has come of age. Several characters have leveled up. Let's look at the character trait. Unfortunately, nothing much has happened over there. And faction has been destroyed. The Maseli and the Mamlakat. Here we are. Fantastic. Population surplus in Palmyra. So we can go ahead and get a temple over there. What we are going to do is we are slowly going to move this character eastwards, and eventually we want to attack this settlement as well of Hegra, but for now we do not have any population class to deal with that, so we're going to move this guy all the way back towards Jerusalem, move this guy into Petra, try to replenish. We can turn off the taxation over here, and yeah, fantastic. We can kind of consolidate that situation over there. Meanwhile, up here in the north, we have some attack going on, so we are just going to go ahead and push for that. They may or may not retreat, and they haven't retreated, so we've got a quick save over here, hop into the battle, and I will see you all in the battle. Alright, and with that we have a decisive victory. We took a few losses on one of our cavalry for the most part. Mostly cavalry took a lot of the casualties. Our infantry did fairly well, and that is because, of course, you know, the Atropatan definitely have better cavalry than us. So we have to be a little bit careful when engaging them in the future, especially in, you know, missile horse archer warfare, because they're gonna have definitely a lot of better missile horse archers. Meanwhile, we can just enslave these captives. We could push the advantage against them, but we're not too concerned. This is an army that's trapped behind our lines, which means you know, we will have a significant advantage going forward if we just simply choose to ignore them. We can replenish most of our units in one turn, so that's going to be the idea. We're going to go all the way up here to the north in Seleucia. We're going to go into that petrol stance, and we're going to just keep pushing over here as well. With that, I think we're mostly done, except we want to build up over here, and in order to do so, we're going to get a sanitation building, as well as, of course, a temple. Let's just go ahead, upgrade all of the buildings we can. That seems to be fine. We can even upgrade this building. Let's go get that knocked out. And there we have it. Fantastic. We can even upgrade this, and it seems like the Basilicoi Scidii are moving towards Dano-Apara, so that's a little bit concerning. We can just move our own units up there to Dano-Apara, and what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and besiege Geros using Stratos 7 Bosphoro. It's not a very favorable auto-resolve, but perhaps we can tip the scales in our favor by just, you know, going ahead attacking over here. A pretty bad auto-resolve that. It's mainly because it's a horse archer kind of an army. Let's just move up close. And it's still pretty bad, so we're just going to stay put over here and go into a fortified formation. It's not going to be easy, especially fighting out all these horse archers. We're going to have to push in a little bit deeper. But what we are going to do over here is we're going to build several of these siege equipments. As far as the balance of power is concerned, we're looking at about 6,000 versus 6,000, so I don't think they'll attack us. They do have a better auto-resolve though, so that might encourage them to go ahead and attack us. Meanwhile, we can move Hipparchos of Mios Hormo all the way towards Pantikapeon. We can also, I guess the play is to move Stratos S9 Egypto all the way into the port over here. And then start moving him up towards Phanagoria. Once we take out this settlement, Geros, we will have a very, very defensible position in the province of Sarmatia, and then we can get all of our 4 armies to march down south. We can try to sue for peace against the Basilicoi Scidii, and then we can pretty much focus on the Atropatan. Speaking of the Atropatan, we want to replenish a little bit, so we're going to move back towards Armavir, but not too far away. Go into a patrol kind of a stance, and hopefully this should allow us to to replenish, and then in the next turn we can push for Ganzak. Meanwhile, our dignitary over here, we're going to move him all the way up towards Mesopotamia. That's good. Have we replenished? We need another turn yet to replenish. Some of the characters have leveled up, so we can just go ahead and give them some abilities. We can check to see if we can promote them. It's the maximum level of promotion. We even have the fleet over here that's doing quite well, so we can actually move the fleet into the port of Olbia. That way, you know, Olbia is also fairly defended. So that's great. The main concern is, of course, this army could potentially move down south, catch us in a very bad position. I think I could have gone ahead and attacked this army, to be honest. They do have a lot of horse archers, and it's not going to be easy to fight these armies, but we're going to have to see how that, you know, develops. Meanwhile, over here, we can go ahead, get some more abilities. The Unwavering Patriot, we can focus on this one as well, in the hopes of trying to get to our next level. And yeah, apart from that, a quick look at our politics. I think we can continue to educate characters, so let's just go ahead and do that. We're gonna take a look. Most of our characters educated. One character has come of age. We're gonna check him out in a bit. Let's just go ahead and educate this character over here, and then let's take a look at the character who's come of age. He is a military academic, which means he starts at a higher intellectual trait. Not exactly what I'm looking for. We can then proceed to improving the zeal and authority of characters. So let's just go ahead and do that. Praise and do a favor to increase the zeal and authority. And then we also want to send this character over here to improve her cunning. And with that, we are more or less done with this turn. We're looking quite good. We could, you know, gather support. Definitely, I would like to do so with a character that's not our faction leader or our faction heir. We can gather it twice. That way we have a little bit more influence. Now we are beloved, which is great. And with that, we are ready to go ahead and end the turn. And I will see you all in the next turn or in the future, depending on what the situation over here is. Yeah, let's just go ahead and end this turn. Alright, welcome to the next turn. Let's turn off all of the notifications and we can go through them one by one. Attrition, mission failed, and a rank has increased, so we can just go ahead and check that out. Should help with the cultural conversion. The happiness of the province is also important. And yeah, with that, that looks perfect. Before we hop into any activities in this turn, we are going to go ahead and take a look at all of the buildings. See whichever buildings we can level up. And it seems like we're doing quite well for the most part, so we do not really require to level things up. We can just build a temple over here. And excellent. I'm liking that. So we are looking fine as far as buildings are concerned. Let's just hop really quickly into politics and educate yet another character. We can go ahead, educate that one over there. We can marry off some characters. Let's marry one over here. Hopefully we get a military leader, and we have another military academic. We don't really need him, so let's just go ahead and assassinate him. He's not a very good character to have. And we are going to do favors as well as praise a character to improve her zeal. That should bump it up to 6, and the authority to an 8. So we're looking at an 8, 6, 4, 6, and send this character on leisure to improve her cunning as well. Apart from that, it seems like politics is mostly handled. We're just gonna quickly select all of the characters that are currently engaged, see if we can promote them, because we want to keep promoting our characters. We can promote this admiral. Let's go ahead and do that. That is fantastic. Yeah, I'm liking this a fair bit. We are improving quite significantly, but we have quite a lot of characters that we can marry off, and we are going to do that not multiple times in a turn, because that gets incremental costs. So yeah, apart from that, everything else is looking fine. We're going to start moving our army Stratos 8 Egypto towards Phanagoria, get into the port, and in the next turn we should be able to attack over here. Let's take a quick look at the auto resolve. It's a lot better, so I am actually going to go ahead and auto resolve this one. 62, that's pretty good. And we can perhaps loot, I guess, and sack. Wow, they have quite a lot of money from that, so let's actually go ahead and do that. We want to build up our slave economy. Once again, we can just sack this time, and there we go. We have sacked them quite effectively. We're gonna stick in this area just for a bit, hopefully to dissuade the Scythians from attacking us. We can get some abilities, so let's go ahead and do that, especially the army traditions. That's perfect. We can dismantle buildings as well, but I'm thinking if we keep this as a military recruitment province, I don't think that's necessary. So let's just repair the buildings we need, dismantle the buildings we do not require. And with that, we have consolidated our hold over Sarmatia, so our empire is starting to look a bit nice. We have complete control of the Pontic Sea, so that is great. Maybe we can even establish a peace agreement with the Scythians. It's on high. Let's actually go ahead and do that, since we don't have any interest in fighting them. They are pretty much at war with the entire world. They only have Dacia left, which means the Romans are going to be taking over pretty soon if they kind of function quite well. Meanwhile, Massalia, full respect to them, still holding their ground. So yeah, hopefully that should be it. Meanwhile, North Africa looking secured. We just have problems in, of course, Arabia. Speaking of Arabia, we want to exchange our units, and we're going to keep moving all of our units up front in order to tackle the situation. And all the way down south over here, we do have another army that could potentially move to the north and try to attack us. So we are just going to stay put in Seleucia just for one more turn. And we are then slowly going to push into Media. So let's just go ahead. We can attack the settlement. It's not a very good auto-resolve, but I don't care. We're going to auto-resolve it. We're going to sack and we're going to loot. Same old business over here. And with that, we can just dismantle all of the buildings, repair the buildings we want, and we are slowly inching our way into, of course, Media. And we're gonna go ahead and deploy a dignitary over there to help with that cultural conversion as quickly as we can. We have another dignitary that should be somewhere around here. We're just gonna keep moving him eastwards in order to help with that cultural conversion as much as possible. Speaking of which, the Morians are kind of moving in, which is kind of great, but we don't want them to take out settlement of Raga. We want to take over that settlement for ourselves. We primarily want to keep focusing on this area, so the Morians looking really powerful, have quite a lot of armies, so that is of course great. And we have Bindusara over here. I can definitely not forget that skin. So we have Bindusara, we have Ashoka all the way up there, which is also great. So the Morians very powerful. They will be absolutely strong, which is kind of good for us, because they are the only reliable eastern power. So with Asagata, of course, but Parthia is the real threat as well, so we got to be a little bit careful of how that pans out. Speaking of which, I think we should attack Ekbatana and take out Raga real quick, but I am still afraid of this army in the south over here, so we are going to stay put, and hopefully you know, we're going to be able to push in from the north. We can technically get another army, and that would really help alleviate the pressure on us, but for now we don't have any capable military commanders, so we're just going to wait it out and see what the future holds. Alright, welcome to the next turn. Let's go ahead and crush the riot. Turn off all of the notifications, character personality, report. Yeah, I don't know why my characters aren't leveling up. I can really boost my economy. We're just surviving on a single S tier province, but we're not pressed for money, so I'm not too concerned. But speaking of which, let us take a look at all of our construction. It's looking pretty decent so far. Let's just go ahead and rebuild that province. We can focus on the Empire Maintenance building over there, and we can upgrade all of this in Egyptos, and even this timber the trader or timber trading region. We can go for the... Yes, I think that's what I would like to basically do. Just help out a little bit. Meanwhile, we want to move our characters back over here to kind of replenish a little bit. Hopefully the Scythians kind of move away from the province of Sarmatia, and we will be able to replenish a little bit more. But yeah, we got to be very careful with what happens over here, especially because we are extremely weak. The idea is to replenish this army as quickly as possible, replace it, and alleviate the pressure on Garros. And once we stabilize up there in the north, we can start pushing down south. Meanwhile, let's just go ahead and move into Frapsa. That seems to be a very good thing to do. And we are going to go ahead attack Ekbatana as well. This army over here is moving in that direction, which means we could potentially attack Charax. Charax might be a good option, considering, of course, the fact that you know, they have an army in the region that could move up north, but I think we're pretty safe for now. Seleucia is also looking safe, so I think the right play to do over here is to go ahead and attack Ekbatana. Let's just go ahead and do that. It's a pretty okay auto resolve. We can just go ahead, loot the settlement once again, and we're going to sack it as well, get quite a lot of money, improve our slave economy, and we can go ahead and dismantle all of the buildings in there and take a quick look at the culture. We're gaining about 3.3 a turn, so in about no time, about 20 turns or so, we should have Kartli as the dominant culture over here. We are going to keep moving our spy down south, get a line of sight of what's happening over here. The Morians are pouring into the Arsagatans, so yeah, I have a feeling that the Arsagatans are going to be completely outnumbered. We are going to move this army all the way over there, and the auto-resolve doesn't look great, so what we are going to do is we are going to just attack this army. Hopefully it moves backwards but within range, and we are going to be able to wipe it out. There we go. Yep, within range, and we get our third army up over there. And now when we attack, we should have a very solid auto-resolve, wiping out 2 armies. We want to just peacefully occupy so that we can replenish in this turn. And since we have conquered that, we can move our spy all the way up towards Adamatu, and we can then transfer this using the Timbe trade regions to Muscat. So let's just go ahead, select Muscat, transfer that region. We have no interest in holding these provinces. And then we are just going to start pushing down south into Charmutas, into Adamatu, into Yathrib, kind of push the Atropatan out of this region in order to ensure that we are kind of safe in the Levant, and then we can move these 3 armies all the way out to the east to assist in the east. As far as technology is concerned, we have completed the tactics of physical conditioning. So the next thing we can do is we can go for the Hellenization, which kind of helps a little bit, or we can focus on the cultural conversion. I think cultural conversion is important, but I think more important maybe is to go for the state banking as well, because that does help get our final level of slave quarters, which could be very useful. Still contemplating. I think I'll go for this one over here because it does give the Hellenic and Caucasian outposts, so it'll take about 6 turns to get that. Then we can actually convert this building over here. Speaking of conversion, conversion's not looking good over here, but slowly and surely we will start to convert that province with the assistance of a dignitary. That being said, we're going to take a quick look at our diplomacy, see if we can get Parthia to join this war. Join the war against the Atropatan, please. And if you do, it'll be really good for us. Let's see. Nope, it seems like they like the Atropatan a bit too much, so yeah, that's going to make things a little bit difficult. However, in Frafsa, we do have some population class. We should be able to replenish, and the idea is once we complete our replenishment, we're going to move all the way towards Ekbatana with that army, Stratos 3 Armenia, and we're going to move Stratos 5 Ionius all the way back to Ganzak, and we're just going to keep cycling like this in the hopes of you know, replenishing and keeping that momentum going. That being said, we can level up some characters, especially the ones who have taken part in the war. Let's just go ahead and do that. That's perfect. With Stratos 6 Cappadocius has also leveled up as far as army traditions is concerned, so we're going to get the relevant army traditions. Finally, we're going to take a look at the zeal and authority improvements, and in order to do that, this character is depleted quite a fair bit. So I think the play over here is to improve with this character. We don't really care that much, and we can even improve the cunning of this character. So there we go. Perfect. We have authority for gravitas, so can get some gravitas for that character, and we can actually send this character over here to improve the public order in Media or Mara, and by doing so, you know, we will be able to culturally convert the province a lot faster. Lastly but not least, we have to also educate in this turn, so we're going to pick that education, kind of zoom out, get a proper visual of which characters we can educate and which characters we cannot. We have just a few characters remaining, so let's just go ahead and start educating all of them. Perfect. With that, we are done with this turn. We can go ahead and end this turn, and I will see you all in the future. Alright, welcome to the next turn. Let's turn off all of the notifications. Character has come of age. Fantastic. Character personality report. Hidden agent. Household expands. Yep, still no trait improvements for our characters, so that is rather unfortunate. We are going to move our army all the way up there. Stratos 8 Egyptos. He has a champion in charge, so it's not going to be easy. Instead, what we are going to do is move this army all the way into the port of Phanagoria and start moving him down south and assist with the war against the Atropatan. Meanwhile, we can do the same with Stratos 6 Bosphoro. They should be able to replenish in the end turn. We have quite a lot of population up and running over there. We are just going to, you know, try to consolidate a little bit more, a little bit further. We'll take a look at some of the armies over here. We have a full army, so we can just go ahead, attack. It's a very good auto-resolve. So I think I'm just simply going to auto-resolve this, and we're going to move up north over here to get some replenishment up and running, which is kind of important. We can go in a patrol stance to help with the replenishment, and from there we are going to push into Adamatu and then into Yatrib. For now, we can just auto-resolve at Charmutas, 91%. I kind of like that. We can just peacefully occupy the settlement. We can deploy ourselves into the port over here to help with that replenishment, and we can transfer this over to Muscat once again. So making Muscat a bit strong, but they are reliable, so I am pretty much okay with that. Now, apart from that, we did have this situation up here in the north. We're going to move back down south towards Ganzak as best as we can.
Ready for orders.
Yeah, I think we have to move in this direction, Ekbatana, and we want to move back towards Salukia. Let's see, character is leveled up, so let's just go ahead, give those abilities. We'll take a look at some of the other characters also. We can get a couple of these. Fantastic. I really hope the Morians do not take out Raga. I would really hate for that to happen. Hopefully they attack it and they actually ignore it by just raising it. Regardless, I think Ganzak has some population class, which means we can replenish in Ganzak. So we're going to move back towards Ganzak, try to replenish over there, keep that public order up as much as possible, and we're going to keep moving our dignitary towards, of course, media, in the hopes of you know, culturally converting the province even faster. Let's take a look at the character that has come of age. It's time to engage in a little bit of politics. We even want to marry off some characters, so we have a character over here. He's wealthy. That's not great. But we also have a female character, if I'm not mistaken, that we could marry off. Here we go. Let's just marry her off and get her. Hopefully she has someone who is good with... Nope, unfortunately we can marry off another character. And this guy is virtuous. He's a bureaucrat. Could be a really good faction heir, but not really feeling it. So I guess we just want to assassinate him. Sorry, man. Let's focus on improving zeal and authority a bit further. We have this character over here, 800 gravitas is absolutely perfect, so we can improve the zeal, as well as we want to improve the authority of certain characters, and with that we can even improve the cunning of this character. Perfect. And we are looking pretty good for the end turn, so let's just go ahead and end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Alright, welcome to the next turn. Click off all of the notifications once again. Quite a lot of characters have come of age. Resource loss, livestock, okay, that's fine. Let's see. We don't have any character roads, I think. Yep, that is unfortunate. Desertion at Stratos 2 Carthevalius. But we are replenishing slowly, but certainly we're just going to keep moving up in Petra in order to replenish. This army over here can go towards Jerusalem, try to replenish a bit faster. And we're looking quite good over here. We have also slowly replenishing. Of course, the Atropatan have an army in the region, so have to be a little bit careful about that. We can take a quick look at all of our buildings, make sure that we are building everything as we need, and let's just go ahead, get that, Mesopotamia. Okay, we don't need that building because we want to maximize the food gain. And excellent. That's looking really good. We can also build this building over there to help with the garrison. So we have quite a decent garrison now over there, so we can just go ahead, deploy ourselves into the settlement just to protect it a bit further. Meanwhile, our dignitary over here busy trying to acquire the province or the region of Pulpudeva. So there's that. We can take a look at our characters, those who have come of age. We have quite a few of them. We have an industrialist. Now that guy is going to be absolutely good, especially for Egyptos. So we might actually get him in Egyptos. And some of the other characters, let's take a look. See, we can marry off this character, I guess. 22 gravitas. Wealthy. Alright. What about this guy? Unjust. Wealthy. Alright, so not that many great characters. We can perhaps even assassinate some of them just to reduce the number of characters we have. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'm not completely interested in having a bloated family tree, so let's just go ahead, assassinate some of the useless characters that have come of age. And we want to also educate some other characters. I do like the industrialist. Maybe he could be the future industrialist in Asia. Let's just go ahead, educate this character. And we can go ahead and even assassinate some of these new characters. So there we have it. Okay, everything's perfect. As far as this industrialist is concerned, I kind of like him. So we can actually go ahead and keep him. We're going to see if we can actually assassinate that character. We cannot. So this guy, we want to keep him because he's an industrialist. That's really, really good. Let's just go ahead and get him over here in Mishkera. And should be the last character, of course. And we can just go ahead and do this over here. So there we go. Let's just check to be certain. Yep, there we have the industrialist. We're going to keep improving him in order to kind of get some improved abilities. However, with that, we can even upgrade some characters. So let's actually do that. Excellent. And we're looking quite good for this end turn. The last thing that we have to do as far as politics is concerned is actually improve the zeal and authority of characters. So let's just go ahead and do that. We have one character who's maxed out on the cunning. We also have to kind of max out on the zeal. So let's just praise her, improve her zeal. We can do a favor for the other character over here. And then we can start sending this character on a leisure time to improve her cunning as well. So there we go. Slowly we are increasing all of the characters we have. Meanwhile over here we might as well just secure the loyalty just in order to ensure that they are fairly loyal and cannot slip into a civil war. We can see that our economy is starting to pick up quite significantly. 112,000 denarii from Asia itself. Meanwhile, we can see I'm not too fond of this character. He's not a very good successor, to be honest. I think he has the same thing of Easterners, which is not really good for us. But we're going to take a look at the situation down south over here. The Mauryans have managed to capture Raga, which is rather unfortunate. But on the bright side, we can start moving our armies down towards Seleucia. And we can start attacking the Atropatan from the southeastern parts of their realm. And you can see, considering our strong alliances, we have cut down the Atropatan quite significantly. So that is definitely a good thing. Apart from that, we do have a dignitary in the region. We can move her all the way up. And eventually they're going to move towards Raga. We'll try to acquire the province peacefully from the Mauryans. and we'll see how things progress on from there. Meanwhile, the Morians are also attacking the capital of Hecatomb Pylos, which is really good for us. They have 2 armies in the region, so they're going to be extremely powerful. We have Bindusara slowly moving towards that region. We have quite a lot of Parthians as well over here, so in case we need to attack the Parthians, the Morians will be a very useful ally. That being said, we did have this character, we deployed him into the port, so we're going to move him all the way into the port of Vassals and down south into the Atropatan lands. So just let's go ahead, put him up like that. We can go here, get into the port once again. Fortunately we can't, so yeah, we're gonna have to stay this way, and in the next turn this guy can move all the way towards Vassals as well. And yeah, with that we are looking pretty solid. As far as spies are concerned, we just have 1 spy over here in the region. We can just go down south, get a line of sight of what's happening over here. Do not want the Medivi to attack Adamatu, so we're gonna have to try to rush for that settlement as quickly as possible. But we'll see how it goes, because for the most part we definitely want to push over here. So yeah, Muscat looking pretty good. I kind of like that. We are slowly going to fill in the map with Muscat, you know, kind of reward them for their alliance and their efforts against the Atropatan, of course. However, with that, it's time to go ahead, end this turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Alright, welcome to the next turn. Research has completed, which is great. Fortunately, still no character upgrades, which is really unfortunate. We can take a look at the characters manually. They're fairly young, so they will not upgrade. But this guy over here, have absolutely no idea as to why he is not upgrading. He has all the right conditions to do so. But for some reason he's simply just staying as a student, which is really awkward. Meanwhile, up here in the north, we can just go ahead, start moving this army into Vassals. This army at the fort of Vassals, we can start moving him down towards Frafsa. Try to get as far as possible. We can deploy this army into the port as well. He should replenish fairly slow, but he has a long way to go to march into those regions, so that could work in our favor. We are going to move towards Raga with this dignitary, and we are going to push southwards with our 2 armies in the hopes of course, taking out the settlement of Charax. The Morians really pushing hard over here. They have a lot of troops surrounding Hecatomb Pylos, so yeah, it looks like we're crushing the Atropatcan's heartlands, and there's nothing much they can do about it. Speaking of the Atropatan heartlands, we are going to try to move as close as possible over there, and in the next turn we should hopefully be able to deal with the Adamatu. So we're just going to move a little bit up close over there. We can put both of these guys in a patrol stance. Hopefully Petra has a population class. It kind of does, so that's great for us. But we have a lot of Atropatan stacks over here, so yeah, it's gonna be quite difficult to defend over here. So we just get a spy, get a line of sight of what's going on. We have 3 full Atropatan stacks over here, and pretty elite stacks at that. We're gonna take a quick look at our buildings. We can upgrade some buildings, so that is obviously gonna be the plan. Let's just go ahead, upgrade as much. We have quite a lot of money in our treasury, about 500,000 denarii, which is great. And that means we can pretty much play with the economy turned off. There's nothing of major concern over here. Let's just go ahead, upgrade that building as well. Fantastic. And all in all, everything's looking good. We can take a look at our politics. We have some characters that we can marry off. Let's do that real quick. We even have characters that we would like to improve the zeal and authority, so let's just do that real quick. Improve her zeal and improve her authority. So there we go. And we want to improve this cunning as well, so that's great. Meanwhile, our faction leader can go ahead and educate some characters. We are going to scroll all the way, and we have a couple of characters over there, so just 3 more characters, so we're getting ahead of the curve as far as education is concerned, so things are looking great overall for us. However, with that, I think it's time to end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Hopefully we will be able to reach Charax. I'm actually going to push a little bit further. I don't see an Atropatan stack, so we're going to move a little bit further, try to take out Charax, try to get a hold of that population class. From Charax we can push into Hagar and transfer that over to Muscat as well. That should pretty much isolate the Atropatan all the way in Yathrib, which is going to be a very difficult place to kind of crack open the Atropatan, but we can hope for the best. However, with that, let's just go ahead, end the turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Alright, welcome to the next turn. We have purchased a region, which is great, and that region would be Pulpodeva, which means we can move towards Naissos next. Try to acquire that region as well from the Romans. We have a 14% chance in order to do so. Let's just quickly build up over here. We want to get that, and we can get a Caucasian settlement as well. That helps a little bit with the cultural conversion, so definitely a good thing. Meanwhile, character trait report, we have a scholar over here, so this guy is leveling up pretty nicely. Meanwhile, the other characters not so much. We have some characters increased in rank, so let's just go ahead and increase the rank. We want to get some food and public order. Perfect. Meanwhile, this character over here is also leveled up. We can get a couple of these, and we can even perhaps promote this character, which will help a little bit with his taxation rates. Fantastic. We even have the army Stratos over here that's leveled up, so let's go ahead and give them that. Start moving them all the way to the south. We're slowly pouring into the Atropatan, so that is definitely a good thing. Let's just move down south a little bit further, start moving our dignitary in that area. We can move our spy in this area. The Atropatan might go ahead and attack over there. Unfortunately, Arsagartha has taken over this region, which is really annoying. We're going to move our dignitary down south to deal with that, and or maybe, just maybe, Atropatan will attack them, which will give us a decent advantage. So let's just actually move a little bit closer, and we are going to go into a double ambush stance over here, just to make the Atropatan try to attack this area, and if they do, we will be able to quickly reconquer Charax. Speaking of which, up north, Adomatu has been attacked by the Medevi, and that is just insanely lucky. We are just going to peacefully occupy the settlement, and we are going to keep moving our armies over there, and slowly but surely we're going to march down south. Yathrib is kind of undefended. We don't really have a line of sight of what's going on. We're going to sabotage the settlement. Unfortunately, didn't succeed. But the Atropatan, as you can tell, been significantly cut down, so there's nothing much they can do about it. But since, of course, we have taken Adomatu peacefully and we don't have to worry about a replenishment, we can actually just transfer this over to Muscat real quick, and there we have it. We have that area firm control of Muscat in the next turn, and then we can slowly start marching down south towards Yathrib. Over here we could potentially attack Yathrib, but I am going to stick around to defend the settlement of Charmotas, because that is definitely the important thing to do. We have a couple of Atropatan armies in the area, in the heartlands of Arabia, so we got to be very careful with how we proceed with our invasion of Arabia. Let's go ahead, improve all the buildings we can improve, and that looks great. We can keep improving. Fantastic. We want to get that and that, as well as we can get this one. Right. Perfect. With that, we are done with that. So we're just going to check our politics as well. With the politics, see if we have any characters that we can marry off. This guy definitely can get married, so let's marry him. Faction leader can go ahead and educate some characters, just a couple more characters, so that's great. And yeah, no other characters have come of age, so that is definitely a good sign. We just have one more character. We might as well just educate him because we'll have a couple of turns to kind of tick down that incremental cost. Meanwhile, over here, we can improve the zeal of this character at long last. And she has 10 zeal now. We can even improve the authority of this character over here. And this character can go on a vacation to improve her cunning as well. Yep. Yeah, with that, we can go ahead and end the turn. And I guess I'll see you all in the future. Hopefully, you know, no more disruptive things happen over here. A quick look to see the cultural conversion. We are culturally converting quite fast, but we definitely want to take over Raga, yeah, then things will kind of be a lot better. Alright, welcome to the next turn. Hunted, political intrigue. Let's just turn off all of the notifications. Quick check on all of the messages. Nothing much happening over there. We have this character helping with the cultural conversion. Let's just go ahead and improve up all of that. And we can move closer over here. We have 11% chance of acquiring that. Meanwhile, at Nasos, we also want to deploy our dignitary over there. And let's take a quick look at all of the buildings. Several buildings have completed as far as the construction is concerned. So we definitely want to level those up. And nope, it seems like everything is fine. We don't really need to level up anything further. The Atropatan have attacked this settlement over here. So we're hoping they attack it again so that we can take over that settlement real quick. Meanwhile, over here we have a couple of armies, so we are going to try to move down south, a little bit closer towards them, and over here like so. And we're not going to attack them just yet because they will retreat, and we'll have to see exactly how we go about this because it's not going to be easy to attack these guys. We could move from the south, but I'm not sure what's going on over here in the south. Maybe we have some armies. Alright, doesn't seem like it. And I think they are at war with Saba as well. Yep, they are at war with Saba. So yeah, they might actually go and try to attack this army over here. So I think the play would be to move all the way over here. Get really up and close. We're going to take a little bit of attrition, but hopefully we will be able to move towards Yathrib from the south, which would be a really powerful move because conquering Yathrib is extremely difficult because it's right bang in the heart of Arabia, so it's not going to be easy to conquer that settlement. Next up, we're going to check our guy. He can level up or educate a character, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Very quickly look at our other characters to see if we can improve their cunning. We're going to go ahead and do that real quick. Authority as well as zeal can be improved, so we have to do that as well. We have a character over here with 11. We can improve that one. And with that, we are looking once again very good to end the turn. So yeah, I guess I will see you all in the future. But before we go ahead and do that, we do have a couple of armies up here in the north. We're going to start moving them down to the south, just in preparation of you know, attacking the Atropatan wherever we can. I think it's time we can wipe out this army. We're not too concerned, but we definitely don't want them to get some mercenaries. So let's just keep moving all the way towards Seleucia. Try to wipe out this army, prevent them from doing any major damage. Alright, welcome to the next turn. Some political intrigues, armies have been discovered, characters have come of age, quite a lot of them in fact. And conceal the army, faction joins the war, alliance forged. Okay, that's great. Medivi and the Muscats have forged an alliance, so that's good. We want to move this character over here to help acquire this province, and we are going to try to march into, you know, it's going to be hard to do so, but we have to march just normally towards Hagar. Meanwhile, down south over here, we have an army that we can... They can reach us, so what we are going to try to do is sabotage this army. Hopefully that will reduce their movement. Unfortunately, it hasn't. So I think it's kind of time to retreat, I guess. There we go. Let's just retreat a little bit. We can go in a patrol stance over here. We can even, in fact, just ignore that army and attack that settlement. But of course we will take some attrition while doing so. So I think the play over here is to keep pushing that army off. And okay, so they are out of the way, which is kind of great. And we can just go ahead and attack. Fantastic. And we can move down south over here. A little bit of attrition to do that. And let's just go ahead and attack the settlement. And we can peacefully occupy it once again. We are going to move all the way down over here, the southern side, and we're going to just stay out like so. Perfect. With that, we can even transfer this over to Muscat, yet another province, and we have kind of, reduced the Atropatan into just 2 provinces. So yeah, things are not looking good for them. If we take a look at, of course, the power, balance of power, we're pretty strong. We're in fact slightly stronger than Rome, I would say. But for now, we're going to take a quick look at our buildings, try to, level up all the buildings we can. We've completed a research, which is great. So we are going to go ahead and build up all the buildings we need. And we can build a Caucasian colony over there as well. Upgrade this Caucasian colony. Fantastic. Let's take a quick look at our character. The Hyparchos of Pesentinus. Definitely want to level that up. And we want to focus on the Empire maintenance as well. So let's just go ahead and get that up and running. Empire maintenance wise, we are looking pretty decent, 15%. So that's definitely great. And take a quick look to see if we can upgrade this character, promote him. He seems to be the max level of promotion, so that is pretty good. As far as technology is concerned, once again, we're looking quite good. We don't need to research anything militarily speaking. We could go for the state banking, or we could go for the field surgery that will give us cultural conversion. So I think we'll go for the field surgeon, get that cultural conversion, because, in that way we can perhaps outdo the nomadic influence in the region and help a little bit with that cultural conversion in the region. That being said, I think it is perhaps time to abandon Darnu Apara. We can go towards Olbia and move our fleet out of the region, move towards Odessos and get this guy into the port, so that in the future turn we can move towards Pantikapaon and start marching down southwards. Speaking of marching down southwards, we have a couple of armies over here that need to march down southwards, and we have another army over here that can kind of move to check that Atropatan stack. We're going to keep pushing it while we try to move down south, take out Hagar. If we take out Hagar, then the Atropatan are going to be at a significant disadvantage. There's not going to be much they can do as far as Yatrib is concerned. They do have another army that's inbound towards Hagar, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere over here in the fog of war. But we'll have to see how that plays out in the future, of course. For now, let's just go ahead, end the turn, and I will see you all in the future when we are about to attack Hagar. Alright, welcome to the next turn. We have a noble death, a new leader, Agathon. Unfortunately, that means we no longer have Governor General in charge of Asia, but the good news is we do have one guy that's leveling up over here. Hopefully we'll get some character traits. Obsessive, Mega Spaceleos, Martinet. Okay, some characters have leveled up. Let's just go ahead, give them the levels. Satrapies of Egypto. Let's just give him those abilities over there. Fantastic. And we have the Stratos of Egypto. Can go ahead and give him all of the remaining abilities. There we go. And this guy over here can now move towards Pantikapaon. The fleet meanwhile can move towards Olbia once again. And we can abandon Garros, move towards, or try to move towards Dano-Opara, and try to garrison that province. As far as Garrison's concerned, we're looking really good. Even without any armies in the region, we should be able to hold on to those settlements. Meanwhile, over here, we can just scare this guy, move him around a little bit, kind of bully him, shadow him as best as we possibly can. Keep moving down to the south. This army can move towards Hagar. Let's go. The next army as well. We're going to slowly move towards Hagar. Meanwhile, over here, not going to be able to replenish, but we're going to stay really close to this settlement in order to prevent anything from happening. Let's just move our spy a little bit in that direction, deploy him, and that's the next army that we have to worry about. Okay, fantastic. With that, we can even move this guy all the way over here. We don't have to worry about any armies in this region, which means we can transfer this province over to Muscat. And with that, Muscat is going to be pretty powerful in the Arabian Peninsula. The last remaining settlement, of course, being Hagar. That being said, I don't know if attacking Mamlakat and Saba would be a good move, because doing so would, I think, allow Muscat to kind of take over Marib, which is what we want to do. We want to fight out these two stacks of the Atropatan, and then we can march down south along this road slowly but surely and attack Marib. Definitely going to be difficult to do so, however. That being said, we can take a quick look at all of our buildings really quickly, see if we have to upgrade any of the buildings. I don't think we need to. And yeah, we're looking quite good as far as buildings are concerned. Let's take a quick look at some of the characters that have leveled, come of age, I believe. Okay, so we have this new guy over here. He's an industrialist, who's very good. And he's a gifted leader, so he's kind of a bit of both, and he's cheerful, so he could be a very, very good future heir, to be honest. And yeah, definitely could be a good future heir. So let's just actually try to improve him as best as we can. We do have another character all the way over here, if I'm not mistaken, who I think is cheerful. There we go. Yeah, that's him. But we definitely want to get the youngest guy in charge, because of course this guy we're looking at, just to make sure that none of the other male characters can rival his claim, because the current faction leader is pretty old. So we definitely have to try our level best to get this guy improved. For now, we can just improve his secure his promotion, which I think is important. To help with his gravitas. We have any other gravitas abilities should help out. Unfortunately, we do not, but what we can do is just do a favor. That does help. Sending a gift does give a +2 gravitas. What we can do with this other character who kind of outranks him as far as gravitas is concerned is secure power a couple of times, so that I think that actually does not cross gravitas. So we're gonna have to just improve relationships. That should cost a little bit of gravitas. We keep improving. There we go. That's pretty good. And one last time we can improve it. That should bring his gravitas down fairly a bit. We'll just cross check to see. None of the other characters have higher gravitas. This guy is looking pretty insane on his gravitas. So we definitely want to just spend some of that, make sure that he's not in a position to threaten the succession. There we go. Okay, that's fine. This guy also has pretty good gravitas, so we'll definitely need to improve the gravitas once more. There we go, 341. All right, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So our faction heir will be pretty secure in the succession. Yeah, we are going to go ahead and select him as the faction heir. Let's do that. Quite a lot of characters have come of age, actually, I think. Let's just do that. And we can select this, start to educate some characters. Let's go ahead, get this character educated. That's good. And I think this guy has also come of age, but he is pretty bad, so we can go ahead and assassinate him. Don't really need him. There we go. Successfully assassinated. We have a female character over here. Has come of age. Maybe we assassinate her as well. There we go. Fantastic. And we definitely want to get this guy in charge of an army. He's pretty good. That being said, we definitely want to improve zeal and authority. So let's just go ahead, improve the zeal over here, improve her cunning as well. And finally, we want to improve authority. So we have this character over here that we can improve the authority. So let's go ahead and do that. And with that, we're looking pretty good for this turn. We can go ahead and end the turn. And I'll see you all in the future when we are ready to take out Hagar, as a lot of these turns we're not going to be doing much. Alright, welcome to a couple of turns in the future. I've realized that I can actually attack Hagar, so I kind of resumed the episode at this point. We have a character that can level up. Let's just go ahead and give him some abilities. 2, 3, there we go. Perfect. And we can move him all the way down south towards Eudemon. Meanwhile, up here we are slowly but surely replenishing. What we are going to do is we're going to try to push these guys into the desert, because that is definitely going to be really funny. So let's just attack them over here. Okay, go into the desert. Fantastic. Take some attrition. Get a little weak, and we're just going to keep pushing them into the desert like so. Meanwhile, over here we can just go ahead and attack this settlement. We have 2 armies that can move, and the other one cannot really move that much, so just let's get a line of sight of what's going on. Okay, fantastic. Our other spy can move all the way over here to kind of slow this guy down, make sure that he spends a lot of turns marching into the desert. We are going to go ahead, just simply auto-resolve this one. A fairly easy auto-resolve. We can just peacefully occupy this settlement. Right. And we are going to move all the way over here. And yeah, that was not a good move, because this army can potentially come back and attack me. But we're going to have to see how that is. We're just going to deploy over here. Hopefully they cannot attack me, but we'll see. Take a quick look at all of our buildings, see which buildings we can upgrade. We don't want to upgrade the buildings that are there in our food provinces, of course. But yeah, apart from that, everything seems to be going quite well. So that's good. We can take a look at our characters. Can we educate anyone? We can. There are some characters who have come of age. Let us quickly educate them. Can we educate any more? We can. There's one more, so might as well just spend that money to keep educating that character. Okay, with that we are done with all of the education. Quick look to see if we can upgrade the zeal of that character, and also we want to upgrade the authority of this character, so let's just go ahead and do that. And we then want to send this character on a vacation to improve her cunning. Excellent. And we want our faction heir to do favor, but we cannot, so we are going to select another one of our characters and just improve the relationships like so. And our faction heir, you can now do a favor. There we go. That should help a little bit, and we can even secure loyalty to get even more loyalty. We're almost 1 million in the treasury, making 87,000 per turn. Asia has taken a slight hit because it no longer has a governor general. 60 food per turn, which is absolutely great. In fact, if we actually turn on the taxation in Egyptos, you can see that we're making around 40,000 over there. We have no governor generals, but hopefully soon enough we should be able to get some governor generals over there. So we're hoping for that. We can get not the Greek philosopher. We'll need another trait. The wise man will be helpful. And this guy has leveled up pretty well. He is now a scholar, after which he will become a philosopher, after which he can become a economic genius. And once he's an economic genius, we can place him in Diospolis and definitely help with the taxation over there. Meanwhile, our governors or our dignitaries are trying to acquire these regions, and hopefully we will be able to acquire them in the turns to come. That being said, enemy army retreats, military access cancelled with Athens. Yes, that's exactly right. I have cancelled a lot of my agreements with Athens. Want to eventually declare war on them so that the Romans kind of wipe out the Athenians over here and create a little bit of a cleaner map, so to speak. However, with that, we are ready to go ahead and end the turn, and I will see you all in the future. I think the play over here is to kind of exit Hagar as quickly as possible, try to reinforce with this army, and once we're able to do that, you know, we should be in a pretty solid position against the Atropatan. Attacking Gore would also be a good idea. Hopefully the Morians move towards that settlement, and if they do take out Gore, that's the last remaining settlement of the Atropatan. Alright, welcome to a couple of turns in the future. We have acquired the province of Raga. Sun has come of age, another region available. Nasos, another region available. Charak. So yeah, I think as far as the map is concerned, we are looking quite good. This is pretty much what we wanted. What we're going to do is we're going to dismantle all of the buildings we do not need. Start upgrading all of the buildings that we require. And the Atropatan have lost their last remaining settlements to the Asagartha, so they are taking attrition. They are going to be, you know, losing quite a lot of troops over here. They are no longer in a position to threaten us. What we are going to do is, this is the faction leader over here. We're going to attempt to assassinate him. And if the assassination succeeds, which of course it didn't, then we are going to pretty much you know, wait for them to attrition out. So that is the play. Meanwhile, over here they do have a fleet that could potentially cause some trouble, but we are going to deploy into the port over here, and they have even managed to make it a Persian culture over here. So we definitely want to transfer this province over to Muscat. So let's just go ahead, transfer it over to Muscat. There we go. Help with that cultural conversion as best as possible. And of course, they are taking a lot of public order issues because, of course, they have a lot of raiding armies, about 4 raiding armies in the region. Speaking of which, we are going to slowly move this in this direction. Start moving down south over here. We could get attacked. We found ourselves in a pretty bad position. 2 armies over here, which means we could get attacked, but I guess that's good in a way because we are moving towards, of course, Marib, and we'll definitely want to attack Marib in the next turn and wipe out, of course, the Mamlakat in Sabah. As far as characters are concerned, we have leveled up a little bit over here. I don't really want to get too many things, so let's actually just go for this. And we can improve some other abilities. Let's get that one, and we can get that one. So yep, that's pretty good. We can perhaps even promote this character. He is an erudite. We're hoping that he levels up even further. We can take a quick look to see if any characters have leveled up over here. Household expands, new bonuses, character personality. Alright, I don't think we have. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's take a quick look at our family tree. It's growing pretty big. We have another character over here. Is another industrialist, which is very interesting. And we have a wealthy character over there. The wealthy character we can definitely assassinate. He's not that useful. Meanwhile, we have quite a lot of other characters as well. This guy over here is impoverished. And we can go ahead and assassinate him. It's not really good character to keep. We have a gifted leader over here who's cheerful. So he would be very good as a faction heir as well. So we could keep him around. Let's just take a look. I really hate this interface, to be honest, because you need to scroll so much just to get a line of sight of what's actually happening. Hunzu over here, military academic. Maybe we can assassinate him as well. Let's just do that. Try to reduce the amount of characters we have. This guy over here, he's another very good gifted leader type. So yeah, I actually originally wanted him to be the faction heir. Apart from that, everything else seems to be good. We can take our faction heir and actually use him to improve, and we can even promote him because that helps with the gravitas as well as the empire maintenance. We can take a quick look at our faction leader. Can he educate anyone? He can, so we can just take a quick look to see who exactly he can educate. He has a couple of them, so we might as well educate both of them just to stay ahead of the curve. Of course, we have quite a lot of characters that could come of age, so with that, we can take a quick look to see if we can marry off any of the characters. We cannot marry off these two characters. We have another character over here and here. So we can marry off this guy. Let's go ahead and get him married. Excellent. And lastly, we want to improve the zeal and authority once again. So let's just go ahead and do that. Here we have this character can improve the zeal. And she can also improve the authority of this one. And yep, we can send this character on a vacation to improve her cunning. Meanwhile, the Scythians have declared war against us, but I'm not too concerned. That's fine by me. The Romans have finally gotten a foothold in Iberia, which is great. Which means the Massilians are going to survive a fair bit over here. So that is definitely good. Apart from that, I want the Romans to join the war against the Averni. So join the war against the Averni, please. And I'll pay you for it. And yeah, sure. But I want you to join the war against the Averni. And I will pay you quite handsomely. Oops. And there we go. Let's go. Okay, so they're at war with the Averni. You can join the war against the Tulingi as well. Payments can increase it just in case these guys try to push into Cisalpine. The Romans will be in a position to attack them. So yeah, that's pretty good. Get the Romans in a war against the Averni. Try to help the Massilians over here. Yeah, definitely we can just... honestly, we can take over Massalia because they are the same blood, which means joint confederation is pretty high. We're just going to check if... yeah, we still have one character that we can get. Oh yeah, we can get the future faction heir, Dipatusu, in charge over there. But this guy is definitely better because he gets that true gravitas as well as cheerful. This guy is also, but this guy has the wealth from industry. Meanwhile, this guy... yeah, you know, sometimes these abilities not just lined up properly. So let's just go ahead and replace this guy over here. Dipasitu. Where are you? There you are. Go ahead, give you that army and we can start recruiting up over here. So in order to recruit, we need to get 4 of these guys, 4 of these guys as well, 4 of these guys, and a couple of these guys. 1, 2, 3, and a couple of those guys. Fantastic. And we can go ahead and rename this Stratos 10, which I think should be of Syria. So let's just go ahead, get that. Stratos 10. Syria's, I guess, if we don't already have that. We can just take a quick look over here. Nope, we do not have that, so that can be Stratos 10 of Syria. Let's get that in. Excellent. So we have a new army, but definitely that one character that's all the way moving back. We have to kind of take a look. Right, he's borderline. What about this guy? Cultural conversion. Morale of all units. That's pretty good, I guess. This guy's... Yep. Yeah, so definitely we want to retain that guy over there. And we can actually start moving this champion all the way to train this fellow over here. So that's perfect. With that, I think we are done with this turn. So we can go ahead and end this turn, and I will see you all in the future. Meanwhile, over here, we have gotten rid of those units. So we can potentially just move up north towards Samandar. We might want to attack the Parthians, but to be honest, I'm not too keen on continuing this campaign much further because, of course, we've completed all of our victory objectives. We just need to recruit about 32 units. So yeah, after that, it will be quite easy. Let's just go ahead and end this turn, and I will see you all in the next turn. Alright, welcome to the next turn. We have acquired several provinces, which is great. We have even increased in Imperium level. An important character has come, and what is his? He's Mercantilist. And yeah, that's pretty good, I guess. We can even improve him a little bit. Let's go ahead and give him a couple of these abilities. Fantastic. And we want to re-recruit the other character over here, Aspatines, reinstate legacy satrapies of Asia. Let's go ahead and deploy him in Pantikapaon. Hopefully that should help with him leveling up. Check all of our buildings to see which ones we can upgrade. We can definitely upgrade this building, that, and dismantle a couple of those buildings. And how the hell did this guy... Oh, okay. We can go ahead and build that. We want to convert that into a food. And we can build a armor smith over there. Meanwhile, we can dismantle this building, dismantle that, improve that. So yeah, we're looking quite good. Yeah, we want to move our dignitary, start culturally converting. Once we consolidate in Nasos, we're going to declare war against the Athenae so that the Romans kind of deal with the with Athens over here, and we can have much cleaner borders. But with that, we have kind of consolidated in Thracia. We can go ahead and just improve some buildings. We have completed our research, so even our cultural conversion is going to be a lot better now. So that is definitely something to look forward to. We're looking at about 23. As you can see, we are growing in Caucasian culture. So let's just go ahead and research this, and then we can research that for food. And as far as this is concerned, we are looking pretty good. Do they have a rebellion anywhere? They do not. This guy is a little bit further off. This guy as well. So it doesn't look too good for the Atropatan. It seems like they are going to be pretty much suffering. We're going to move back up north over here. Just try to escape this unit a little bit. Meanwhile, this guy over here is trying to move towards Adamatu. So Yathrib, pretty good garrison. Adamatu also has amazing garrison, so I don't think these guys are going to be too much trouble. We can just pull out of Arabia entirely, and we can leave Arabia as is. Meanwhile, we can just go ahead, attack over here. Definitely auto-resolve doesn't look good, but we can just march a little bit forward from both sides, get a better auto-resolve chance. There we go. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's just auto-resolve that one. Peacefully occupy the settlement. There we go. So once again, things are looking good, and we can transfer this settlement to Muscat. So Muscat is pretty much king of Arabia, and with that we are going to be taking out the Mamlakat in Saba as well. So yeah, we've more or less secured our southern frontiers, to be honest, and there's not much else to do. Parthia could be the last final boss, but we'll have to see how that goes, because pretty much there's no real need to continue the campaign because we are almost won the campaign. You know, just another 23 more units and we will have won the campaign. Speaking of 23 more units, we can even recruit another military guy. We have this guy over here, so we can definitely recruit him. We'll take a quick look to see some characters if they can get married. Unfortunately they can't. This guy over here, he's pretty good, so I'm gonna retain him. We can in fact even adopt him. There we go. And yeah, that's pretty good. We can get that. And this guy, Democrati, can be another new commander over here. We're gonna see what's the population class over here. Do we have first class population? We do, but it's not as much as fast as I'm imagining. So let's actually get him in fastest all the way over here. Democrati, let's get him. And we can go ahead and start recruiting up those units. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Couple of these, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Excellent. And we're gonna rename the army over here as well. We can rename it Stratos 11, I guess Mesopotamia. Let's just see if that works out. There we go. Stratos 11 Mesopotamia. There. And with that we have 11 armies. We can get even one more army. But what that means is that we are going to win this campaign really easily now, because we are going to be able to recruit up to the campaign requirements just about 4 turns, and we more or less win the campaign. Meanwhile, some characters have leveled up, so let's just go ahead, give them some abilities. We can even give that. Another character is leveled up. We can level him up like so. Fantastic. And with that, we are more or less done with this turn. The only last remaining thing to do is some politics. We cannot educate any character, but we can definitely improve the zeal and authority of some other characters. So let's just go ahead and do that. Which characters are they? I'm guessing the ones over here. Yep. We want to improve the zeal. Let's just go ahead. And we can improve the authority as well over here, and the cunning. So unfortunately this is something you have to do every turn, just in order to stay on top of the political game. That being said, I think Hagar will be pretty solid in terms of you know, its ability to withstand any attack. It's gonna take a long time for any of these guys to reach Hagar, with the exception of this army, which is a Muscat army. So yeah, a lot of the armies are just stuck in the desert, so it's not much they can do, which means we can kind of pull out over here and try to defend Charax. With that, let's just go ahead, end the turn, and I will see you all in the future. Hopefully Mamlakat and Saba also get wiped out, which will be really, really good for our position in the Arabian Peninsula. We're going to slowly pull out all of our armies, move them towards Mesopotamia, kind of prepare for the, you know, for the end game, I guess. That being said, are we still at war with the Scythians? I think the Scythians have been wiped out. Yep, they have been wiped out, so not much they can do about that. Maybe peace treaty, could join confederation. No, you will not. So I guess the play over here would be ideally to declare war on Athens.
Welcome.
Let's see, declare war on Athens. And all of them have joined that war, which is fantastic. And since they have joined the war, we can just move down south over there and try to get a hold of attacking Athens. That being said, we have another character over here. Can move in this general direction. I think we'll just move by sea. We will take some attrition because we don't have any fleet that's supporting our movement. But in a couple of turns we should reach Odessos, after which we can pretty much move into Athens proper. But with that, let's just go ahead, end the turn, and I will see you all in the future. Alright, there you have it. We have a military victory thanks to our alliance with Rome, thanks to the amount of troops that we have recruited. And, you know, just not gonna watch this cinematic, I guess. Could be considered as Kolkhis, to be honest, because it is Hellenic, kind of. But of course, fighting against italics make absolutely no sense. I wish some of these victory videos were a little bit more intense. We can continue the campaign. Some of the characters have come into their age. Meanwhile, character trait report. We have another erudite up here. Fanifrates, okay. That's great. I guess it's this guy over here is becoming an erudite. So as you can see, we are slowly but surely leveling up everywhere. We have a champion over here who can just move towards this army. So we have two armies over here. This army is going to be completely built up as well. We are looking quite good in terms of our capabilities. As you can see, you know, we have managed to take out the Atropatan. They are no more a faction. I guess they have been wiped out. Not entirely sure. Let's just take a look real quick, see if they are still there. It seems like they're not, so yeah, it seems like the Atropatan have been wiped out. Meanwhile, the Mamlukat in Saba, they have a general and a leader over here. Let's try to assassinate that leader. 28% chance. There we go. We have a new leader over there. We can maybe try to assassinate. 37% chance. If we do that, then we will definitely wipe out the faction. But for now, we can take a look at Marib. Still has a pretty weak garrison, so not going to abandon the settlement just yet. Meanwhile, all of our other characters moving outwards from Arabia, of course. So there's that. And we have a character over here that we can use to attack Pelendeva. Oops, they have quite a big army over there, so we're just going to move this way, kind of support as well. And we can build yet another corruption based building, and the corruption's already at 0, so there's no real need for that. But things are looking quite good overall. Of course, our economy is looking amazing. We have 1.2 million in the bank. We have about 100,000 denarii, 66 food. We aren't even taxing Egyptos, and if we tax Egyptos, you can see we're making 155,000 denarii per turn. Economy is not going to be a problem for the rest of the campaign. You can see that our taxation level is on the lowest possible or minimal. And of course, trade wise, we're making about 30,000 denarii. So trade accounts for about let's say 20% of our economy, which is actually quite powerful, but I think that has to do with the faction trait. So yeah, that's pretty good. Overall, campaign was very enjoyable. I really like the faction. I really like the new units. It's a bit of a mini campaign, to be honest, just 6 episodes in, and we have managed to conquer quite a bit. That's the thing about, you know, these kind of positions on the map. Initially, you're hard pressed, but if you succeed, then you get access to, you know, very high economic tier provinces like Ionia, which can really make you a powerful faction. Egyptos as well, super powerful. Especially with the Kolkhis, you have access to a very good start because you have, you know, Crimea, you have Paphlagonia, Kaipontos, and you also have Ionia, which means you get 2 food provinces straight off the bat, and you also get a very solid S tier economic province off the bat, which means after you kind of spec in that middle game or late middle game, you will be able to support quite a lot of armies. And you can see we have 11 full stacks, still making about 97,000 denarii in our net income. Asia is at 115, and we don't even have a character over here, a governor general. And if we got a governor general over there, Asia could be making making anywhere between 130 even 140,000 denarii per turn with the taxation turned on low. However, that being said, nothing much else left to do. We can just start moving up characters. You can see as far as politics is concerned, all of our political parties very loyal. Our influence is pretty high at 76. So in order to counterbalance that, we can start to marry off some characters. Try to get a little bit more, or reduce our influence a little bit, so that we do not go into exalted, because if we do go into exalted, then we will get that -3 tax per turn. At this stage, it doesn't really matter. As far as the tactical map is concerned, we can take a look at the situation in the world. It seems like the Morians have done quite well. They even assisted us against the Atropatan, and as such, they have expanded their realm fairly bit. The Parthians are fairly powerful, but the Morians are also nothing to scoff at. Meanwhile, we have helped Muscat consolidate Arabia, since we had no real interest in controlling the region. It's really not that lucrative to control, and of course moving from one settlement to the another takes incredible amount of time, so it's absolutely not worth it in my opinion. Meanwhile, we have another military ally in the Medevi in Ethiopia, which means you know, we didn't have to focus on conquering the south. We kind of secured Egyptos from all directions, which is great. Meanwhile, in the northwest, we have a very powerful Roman military ally that has expanded quite a fair bit. They have a significant portion of the Balkans. However, they had a little bit more, but we kind of acquired it from them through a peaceful diplomatic means. They also managed to consolidate a vast majority of the western North African coast, of course the eastern parts belonging to us. So our African holdings are extremely secure. Meanwhile, all of our other possessions very secure over here, because we have the Morians as well as the Asagata protecting our media as well as Mesopotamia. The only real threat being Parthia, and if Parthia decides to attack us, then we can pretty much just push in from Scythia, from Chorasmia. We can even pincer attack them. So yeah, the Parthians will not be a real problem. The Romans could be a potentially, kind of a boss fight to do. But I'm not interested in continuing the campaign, to be honest, but I'll leave it up to you guys. I think, or I might not, because of course I don't see a point. I have achieved the victory objectives, and the rest of it is just going to be a slogfest of a lot of fighting. We can just start a absolutely new campaign instead, which will be a lot more interesting. Meanwhile, the situation in Western Europe, the Massilians have kind of lost in effect. The Lusitanan as well as the Averni have managed to put a lot of pressure, the Tulingi as well as the Venones in the settlement of Korea, pushing in all the remaining settlements of Massalia. They have lost significant grounds in Narbonasia, their capital province. They are on the verge of losing Tarraco as well. But I have called the Romans into a war against most of the Western European factions that are hostile towards Massalia, and of course the Romans have gotten a foothold in Hispania. So if we continue the campaign, actually I have no doubts that the Romans will kind of consolidate the entirety of Hispania, as they are in war with Carthage as well as the Mauritanians. They are also at war with the Lusitanians, who own a majority of Hispania. They can even get control of Narbonensis, and whatever provinces that the Massilians actually lose out to the Western European factions over here, the Romans will take over. So all in all, we're looking quite secure. We are in a war against Athens, so the idea was to allow the Romans to take over these provinces over here, take over that province there before getting even more security for Ionia. But I don't see a point in continuing it. If I were to continue the campaign, to be honest, I would try to declare war against the Parthians maybe, and even the Asagatans, and use the Morians as well as my armies. I have about 11 armies to kind of push into Parthia, so it should not be such a big deal. And once of course I secure Parthia, we'll be using a bit of diplomacy to nab these provinces off the Morians, kind of keep them contained over here in the Afghan as well as the Gedrosian desert region or Baloch regions, and pretty much secure my entire eastern frontier, after which it would be very easy to focus everything we got on the Romans. So yeah, all in all, not a very difficult campaign. It was difficult in the beginning, but once we managed to get those 3 important provinces that I spoke about, we were able to snowball quite effectively. Units, Cam has done a really great job in these units. I really like them. There's not a lot of versatility or variety in the units, to be honest, but not every faction needs to be at the level of Roma, Seleucids, the Mauryans, the Carthaginians. Of course, Kolkhis was a minor player, so of course they shouldn't have a wide variety of units, but they have a pretty solid roster which you can work with. And you can definitely take the fight to the enemy. You're always going to be a little bit of an underdog. Keep that in mind, because of course all of the factions that surround you kind of outdo you in one way or the other. To the north you have the nomads, which have much better cavalry and can engage in horse archer tactics, so not going to be easy. To the southeast, of course, you have the Persians and the Parthians, once again excelling in that cavalry kind of a warfare. To the southwest, you have a lot of the Hellenic world, which have better pikemen than you. I never really bothered getting the pikes off the Kartli because simply they're just going to be outclassed. So I focused mostly on melee and maneuvering, playing a little bit like a Romanus style, in which I was doing a manipular formation kind of a setup, which allowed me to flank phalange units. I think the Kartli are well equipped to deal with Hellenic factions simply because their melee units can counter the Hellenic strategy. Yeah, so that is naturally the easiest expansion avenue for you as the Kolkhis. However, as far as the victory objectives are concerned, we have completed our military victory. As you can see, we can even complete our cultural victory because we only have to conquer the province of Scythia, which has just 2 remaining settlements to conquer, and of course culturally convert all of the provinces to have at least 15 provinces in which our culture is dominant. That shouldn't be too hard, of course. We have just expanded so incredibly fast over here that we haven't really had the time to culturally convert a lot of the provinces that we have conquered. You can see just slightly converted. Of course, in all of the provinces that we currently own, we have a majority of our culture, including Sarmatia, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, getting a cultural victory will not be that difficult. In fact, even getting an economic victory is not going to be that difficult, because when it comes to the economic victory, hold on over there, we have to conquer the settlement of Varzim or Khorasmia, which is not that difficult. Of course, we have to conquer nothing else apart from that, and we have all of the settlements. We've completed all of the other requirements. So yeah, just a simple war with the Parthians, and we will have completed all of our victory conditions. The Parthian war could take a bit, could take a long time, but the idea is to kind of like, you know, march through your allied territories, quickly capture Nisa, Susa. Meanwhile, from the pincer move in the north, we can capture Ra and Daix, and march down south, capture Acto, and then march down south, capture Kath. The main fighting will happen in this region, so you know, the southern attack force will be forced to kind of defend over here and push slowly and carefully deeper and deeper towards Transoxiana. And of course, we can do that all while we have the Mauryaans kind of supporting us. The Mauryaans really powerful in this campaign. They have quite a lot of full stacks over here. So yeah, that's very interesting to see, to be honest. Of course, yeah, very impressed with the Mauryaans in this campaign. Of course, they have Ashoka as well. I can't really find him, but yeah, the Mauryaans really outperformed themselves over here, so I'm pretty happy to see that. I mean, they didn't go crazy. That's kind of the idea. I don't want them to go crazy and conquer the entirety of the eastern world over here, but they should be a power to reckon with, especially if the stars align for them in the early campaign. And I'm really liking to see that they survived, because it especially gives me an opportunity to see some of the work that I've done, especially in terms of the general's unit. Absolutely looks so beautiful over here. Really can't find Ashoka. I really would like to find him. I think he might be in the fog of war, although I pretty much doubt it, because we are defensive or military allies, so I should be able to see him. Maybe he lost a battle and was subsequently killed, which would be rather unfortunate. However, with that, we are done with this series. I don't think there's any need to further continue it. Of course, the Mamlukat in Sabah could potentially take Marib, but I have an army over there just to make sure that they don't. In fact, I could just go ahead and attack them. I think this army should be about 1,500. This army over here should be much less than that. So if I go ahead and just attack over here, let's just do it for old time's sake. Yeah, they should retreat. And what we're going to do is we're just going to attack that army, because that army can't retreat. There we go. We just wipe out the Mamlukat in Sabah. And once that's done, we can just enslave up all these captives. And with that, we can call it the end of a campaign. So there you go. Wiped out the Mamlukat in Sabah. Gonna move in this direction to replenish. We can be in a patrol stance. And yeah. You can see pretty much consolidated. We are in a very, very powerful position. That being said, I do hope you enjoyed the series, and if you like the video, then like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you are interested for more. Peace and love.